I'm David Porter. I'm the Republican nominee for the Texas Railroad Commission.
Hello, Texas. My name is Jeff Weems, and I'm the Democratic candidate for Texas Railroad Commissioner. You will find no bigger fan of the oil and gas industry than I am. I'm the third generation in my family to work in the industry. 35 years ago, I began throwing 100-pound sacks of barite, and I've worked in the oil and gas field ever since. My father spent 55 years in it. Both grandfathers each spent 40 years. My son's a petroleum engineer.
I have 30 years of working with the oil and gas industry. I moved to Midland, Texas in 1981. Worked for a short time for a service company. Went back into public accounting. My entire public accounting career being in Midland, Texas, I worked with service companies. I worked with independent producers. I worked with royalty owners.
He's been a CPA who's done some tax returns for a few oil and gas persons and outfits, to the best of my knowledge. I like to use Chairman Carrillo's description of it. He's a no education, no knowledge, no ideas candidate who's running.
My response is that that's, number one, typically ridiculous. Number two, that's what political opponents like to say. I think you got to have the realization that there are 3 railroad commissioners. And being one railroad commissioner, there's nothing I can do without a vote of another 1 or 2 commissioners.
My opponent did not want to bring up the fact that Mr. Williams and Ms. Jones disagree from time to time on various issues, and that whether it's my opponent or me who becomes the third person on the commission will become the deciding vote in some very important matters that are coming up right now.
At this point in time, I don't have any programs that I'm just opposed to, that I'm going in to wield an axe. I'm going to keep an open and effective mind as far as looking at those.
With my opponent saying he has no ideas and has no stances on anything, I am willing to take stances on any issue in front of the commission right now, and it's where I stand.
Sometimes it's quite a while before the pipeline inspectors get around to inspecting pipelines in certain places.
Each man and woman who's out there in the field are doing an excellent job. They have too many wells and facilities to inspect on a per-person basis. This has been well documented, and this is not something that I came up with.
I quite honestly don't know if there's money in the budget to add those right now, but in the future I would like to see a few more safety inspectors.
What I want to see the commissioners do, and what I have faulted the commissioners for, is not getting in front of the legislature and screaming for more people and more resources to adequately do their job. The Railroad Commission and the commissioners need to step up and assume and accept their authority to regulate air emissions from these well sites, because quite frankly, when I get emails from folks in the Barnett Shale area, and I get them constantly, and they are beyond concerned about their quality of air in that area.
This is one of the areas of controversy, whether they have control over air emissions or not.
I believe that it is in the legislative grant of authority to the Railroad Commission to prevent waste of gas that gives them the exclusive and full jurisdiction to monitor, regulate, and control emissions of gas, especially hydrocarbon gases, from well sites and the like.
By controlling the production equipment, the Railroad Commission should and can and probably should control air emissions from production equipment.
When you're looking at what's in the public interest, consider traffic, consider local safety hazards and local safety concerns. Don't just look at it on, is this a good thing or a bad thing for the oil and gas industry, which has been the approach taken by the commissioners so far, toward which I disagree wholly.
Well, I understand some people are going to complain that the Railroad Commission is a rubber stamp regardless of what they do. And on the other side, there's some people that are going to complain that the Railroad Commission is regulating too much.
One of the first great ways to get that type of responsiveness, to get that type of not in the corner of just the industry, but also in the corner of the people, is to get people in there who understand both sides of the fence. And that's why I say, yes, I have industry experience. I have vast industry experience. At the same time, I was injured working offshore. I know the importance of safety.
As a commissioner, you've got to really look at the facts and circumstances and make the difficult decisions to, number one, protect the health and safety of the people of Texas, and number two, let the energy efficiently and economically produce the energy that is needed to support the economy of Texas. If the commission would have done a much better job at first letting the people know exactly what it was doing and not doing, I think some of the problems in the Barnett Shale would have been avoided by a more effective communication.
You have to enhance the ability for the public to communicate with the Railroad Commission and the Commission staff, and that will help everyone and everything along. Communication and sunlight are always the best tools.